Everyone can get an extra $2,500 a year. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I had my stein of coffee and I thought we'd have a look at this news.com.au article about, well, the tax cuts will be fast track and everyone has the potential to get an extra $2,500 a year. Everyone has. I know, I hate how they say middle income earners could get an extra $2,500. No, everyone could get an extra $2,500. There's just one little trick to it. You just have to earn enough to warrant it. So if you want to get it, earn more money. But Florian, you can't say that. Some people are too lazy and stupid to earn more money. So then we need to give them handouts and take care of them, and the state needs to intervene. Blah, 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 blah. Can you tell I'm getting sick of the narrative that seems to be coming through in every single thing? You know, JobKeeper extended, job seeker bonuses going on forever, bank holidays forever. Nothing about personal responsibility. Nothing. No one coming on and going, okay, Australia's going to have to learn a hard lesson here. We've got into this mess by pissing our money away on houses, knick-knack, and other crap. So many people are living hand to mouth. This is an embarrassment for our nation. We need to turn around. People need to learn to tighten their belt. And I think they are. I think it's not coming through in the media, but you're seeing the credit card debt has taken a big hit month to month. Since the beginning of the year, people are hitting it. People are realizing. I'm hoping more and more people start to see how dangerous it is to expect the state to take care of you. I'm hoping this will wake up a generation. I really am. Because really, this is the best chance we have to steer away Australians from just degrading into a, depressing, less productive, and unfulfilling socialist hellhole. I.e. Venezuela, i.e. Cuba, i.e. any of the, fantastic examples of where socialism has worked. All of those ones. Sure, there's a little bit of starvation that goes on and maybe some dissident cleansing, but I don't think that would be too far a step for some people on the left. They already want to quarantine people for wrongthink. Anyway, let's get back to this before I ramble any more. So Frydenberg reveals a $20 billion tax cut will be fast-tracked amid the pandemic. Fantastic! Fantastic! The first news of actually decreasing the burden on people. The first news of actually decreasing the burden on people. Bravo, Frydenberg. Good move. Cheers. I'm raising my stein to you here and I'm going to have a drink of coffee. So, and just wait till we hear the whingers go, but it's only for the rich, they get more of the tax cut. That's what happens when you get this socialist, tax system, which is designed to disincentivize people from working harder, But people have to pay their fair share. Bullshit. Personal income tax cuts for middle-income earners worth up to $2,565 a year are likely to be brought forward to help boost spending, the Treasurer Josh Frydenberg revealed. Okay, there you go. I mean, this is the thing as well. Most people are with pay-as-you-go. Most people are employees. So their bosses have to take responsibility for paying their taxes on their behalf. So they get a tax back at the end of the year and they think it's so nice their accountant has worked their magic. It's so nice the government gives them this money. They don't seem to appreciate the fact that it's them actually being charged more, the government taking more of their money than they should have, and then giving it back to them. You don't get any interest on that, do you? Okay, sure, interest rates are utter garbage right now, but you should at least get something. The tax cuts worth $20 billion were scheduled to come out into force in 2022, a third stage of the tax cuts, with the tax rate of 32.5% to apply to the vast majority of workers, is scheduled for 2024. However, Mr. Frydenberg has confirmed this morning that the fast tracking of the tax cuts was now a live option in the wake of the pandemic. And they should have gone to the election with this. It should have been this financial year we should already be hitting these tax cuts. Because the problem is they make these promises so far into the future they're essentially meaningless. They're essentially meaningless. Look what's happened. Look at what's happened in this year. You had the bushfires at the end of last year. You've got these entire economic lockdowns. You've got all these unknowns that just occur and throws all their planning out the window. There are 3 stages to those legislated income tax cuts, and you know the benefit was very clear. We're creating one big tax bracket between $45,000 and $200,000, where people pay a marginal rate of no more than 30 cents in the dollar, Frydenberg said. I think that's a great idea. It's a step towards simplifying our bloody complicated system. It's a step there in the right direction. It really is. So we're looking at that issue. And remember, even the people who are above this, earning more than 250 grand, they're still going to get savings. Or, sorry, earning more than 200, they're still going to get savings. And if you don't get 45,000, you're not going to get it. Well, you're not paying as much tax anyway. Your tax rate is lower. We are looking at that issue and timing of those tax cuts because we want to boost aggregate demand, boost consumption, put more money into people's pockets. And that is one way of doing it. So here's the government's plan, the proportion of taxpayers in each bracket. They want to have 70% in the $45,000 to $200,000. And the average full-time earnings are here. So you've got 6% over 200,000. And this is the share of the personal tax paid. So you've got 24% of the population who've only got a tax rate of 19% are only contributing about 2%. The majority of people are in this range, or will be in this range, would be contribute 62. And then you've got the 6%ers, the top, who are putting in more than a third. So it seems like they're putting in more than their fair share. These people aren't, and these people aren't. Shouldn't it all be equal? That's not how it works with this progressive system. They want a distance, and you wonder why. You wonder why there's so many people investing in property, because they want to reduce their tax, because it's so complicated. I know some people advocate for a transaction tax, but that adds up really quick, guys. Every transaction, every transfer, every movement, that adds up really quick. The second stage of the tax cuts lift the income threshold when the 19% tax rate kicks in from $41,000 to $45,000, and the rate at which the 32.5% tax rate applies from $90,000 to $120,000. In 2022, the 2022 tax cuts were aimed at middle-income earners and will deliver annual tax cuts of $580 to a worker earning 40 grand. However, the value of the tax cut rises to $1,080 a year for workers earning $50,000 in income. You can use the online calculator to see how much you will save, and just wait for the people who are saying it's unfair. Well, they're right. The entire tax system is unfair. It is entirely unfair. But there are going to be people that are saying, oh, it only goes to the rich. Why should a $200,000 person be getting a tax cut? Or why does someone earning this much get more of a tax cut? Because they don't understand mathematics. If anything, people who don't understand these, and the reporters who, and you'll see them come out in the woodworks, who'll say it's unfair towards the wealthy. If anything, that's just a sign that our education system is failing. That simple maths is failing. Isn't this like Maths for Living, understanding this? For workers earning $120 a year, the tax cut is worth $2,565, the maximum amount under the stage of the 7-year tax cut program. 7 years. The third stage of the tax cut is currently scheduled to come into force in 2024. It will apply a 32.5% tax rate on all income between $41,000 and $200,000. I would rather see the government implement this type of thing faster than the JobKeeper, than all of the other things. Wouldn't that have been good for this financial year to already have this, boom, put in place? So everyone doing their tax now will get more money in their pockets. I mean, the government's going into mountains of debt for everything else. Why don't they just implement this? Simplify it. So the Treasurer is tight-lipped on the JobKeeper future. The Treasurer was tight-lipped this morning about the future of the $1,500 a fortnight JobKeeper subsidy, which is due to expire in September. But he did flag more income support beyond September for struggling businesses was now likely. It follows calls from the Victorian Premier, Dan Andrews, to extend JobKeeper or other forms of income support in light of the second shutdown in Victoria. The first thing to say is that the JobSeeker and JobKeeper programs are already legislated to the end of September. So even with the 6-week lockdown announcement by Premier Andrews, that takes it out to the end of August, Frydenberg said. But after that, there's going to be that really awkward and tough reopening measures again, which might last a couple of months past that. I mean, they're going to just keep kicking the can down the road, aren't they, guys? Aren't they? Yes, and there's going to be another phase of income support, the details of which will be announced on July 23rd. We recognise that some sectors are going to recover more slowly than others. For example, the tourism sector as a result of the international borders being closed. We've announced the number of sector-wide specific packages for housing, for the arts and for tourism. But we also recognise that the recent events of Victoria are beginning to be an impediment to the speed and trajectory of the economic recovery across the nation. Frydenberg also praised the big banks for extending mortgage relief to struggling businesses. I mean, the initial 6-month loan deferral period has been very helpful. Some $266 billion in loan payments have been deferred, he said. Around 800,000 customers and 60% have been residential mortgages, so the decision by the regulator and by the banks to have this extended for another 4 months is very welcome. So they're getting 10 months of loan deferrals, everyone. How can anyone be in stress? How can anyone be in stress? But still, good to see the state is actually cutting some of the burden they place on people. It's not just all about handouts. This is the first example I've seen about it. First example. It'd be great if they moved it forward. It'd be great if they took some more drastic actions to make things simpler for people. What are they going to do to help small business rather than handouts? Do we want these zombie companies to keep going? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Are you looking forward to getting your $2,500 of extra money? What would you do if you could get it straight away? What would you put it in? I think I know what most people would. They'd be buying a nice big, flower box present for Dan Andrews to thank him for protecting them. Or to Josh Frydenberg for letting them have more of their own money. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or KuCoin. You can buy our merch from Heiser Says. You can support us using PayPal or Gold Pass. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.